Hey guys, so over the last few days, a couple of you have actually been requesting that I make a video on how to find swing trading opportunities and how to basically identify stocks that are trading within a certain price range in order to make money on the way up and on the way down. And I think I found one of those stocks here with US Steel. Now, I've been watching US Steel for a while now, and one of the things that I can say about their stock is that they have a very, very strong resistance price. Now, if you see here over the last 5 years, you can see very clearly that if we drew a line from here to here, they have been following this resistance for almost 2 or 3 years. Now, I never do my price analysis on Robinhood. I prefer to go to a site like Yahoo Finance. Now, I do have Scottrade, and that's what I usually use, Thinkorswim, their platform, for this type of analysis. However, I do sometimes like to do it here on Yahoo because of the fact that it is free and it is quick to do. Now, if we do draw a line, like I was saying, from the bottom here all the way to the top, you can see that this line is very, very bad. Like, this platform is why I don't recommend it. However, you can still draw the price lines here, and you can see that they've been following a very strong resistance. Now, at the top, they're able to break out of this top period here and just do what they want. However, at resistance, they usually bounce, and they bounce very substantially. Every time that they've come down to the resistance, they've been able to run up at least a couple dollars here. You can see here, 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 and then now they broke out of resistance after this our latest economic downturn, and unfortunately are now, or fortunately for us as traders, are now in a new cycle here. If we come on a smaller graph, the 6-month graph, you can actually clearly identify this cycle here from when they came at the bottom to now that they're at the top. You can see that they've been kind of following this line here, and right now, the stock is deciding whether or not it wants to break back down or continue back up. Now, what we do know about United States manufacturing, which is one of the things that most moves this stock, is that they have been recovering and very slowly recovering, but they have been recovering. Now, this stock has only jumped from around $4, $5 to now $8 and has even run up to 10 around 2 or 3 times, which honestly shows very well for the fact that this stock could be pushing up in the short term. Now, if we do look at the candle indicators up here, you can see that long term the stock is bearish, and well, that's obvious because it's down in the last 5 years as a result of the economic downturn and as a result of the fact that United States manufacturing hasn't really been able to recover since after the economic crisis in 2008. Remember that when you're looking at years of data, there might be multiple economic events that are affecting these stocks. Now, why do I try to identify a candle pattern that doesn't take years to see? Because a lot of these stocks essentially break patterns and can come into a new pattern within around the 6 months time frame, and that's how long I look for patterns to be developing and patterns to be happening, because of the fact that it's not too long to where multiple events could be affecting the stock, but it's still not short enough that we are seeing a false pattern or a false breakout and essentially could lose money off it. So that's why I always try to trade off the 3 month or 6 month whenever I'm watching for swing trades. Now, like I said, this is a stock that historically has always followed the resistance. You can see that if I draw a line from where they broke, this is the previous line that we just drew on the 5-year chart, and you can see that they broke here. Now, if we draw a line from there to where our new trend came out, you can see that there is a very clear following here of this resistance line, and they've been able to basically bounce off this resistance. Bounce. Well, actually, the new resistance wasn't. Damn, I really hate this platform, like I said, guys. But if you have nothing better to use, then it is a good option here. So, like I said, if you watch this resistance here, which honestly wasn't developed until about right here, because they were just crashing and crashing. That's why I always say, guys, don't go in too early on these ranges. Make sure you're keeping a close eye out to when the range is established, because if you did come in here and you waited here thinking, oh, this is where it's going to bounce back up, then essentially you would be at a risk of losing money here, as they only bounced up a couple of dollars here, around $2, and then started coming back down. And now that they hit this bottom, they started establishing the range. And even if you saw this one bounce here and you thought, okay, well, they're now in this new channel here, unfortunately, it's not true. They came down a little bit lower again, And now you can start to see the pattern in the stock. You want to wait for around 1 or 2 bounces before you start deciding whether or not this stock has hit its range. Now that's why I'm saying be very careful here, because the range that we're now identifying, the one that I'm trying to put you guys on, is within 2 channels here. So we have the channel of them going down, which is from the economic downturn, but at the same time, we are seeing that they're bouncing off this price high. So there's 2 things that could be happening here, guys. They're either bouncing off this top range here and they're holding at this price range and they're going to come back down to the bottom of the channel, or they're going to create a new channel here and start bouncing back up within this range that we had from the 5-year and this range here that we have now. So that's why you kind of have to identify multiple time frames as well, is a very important part of finding these swing trades and of identifying whether or not you're coming in at a good price and at a good range. Now, a lot of these indicators down here can also make a good note of whether or not you're coming in at a good time and at a good price range. Now, the MACD essentially shows you, this is the bottom one here, and this is one of the only real-time indicators that we have for trading stocks. And essentially what the MACD shows you is whether or not the price momentum is in the upwards direction or in the downwards direction. Now you can see here that as soon as the MACD line was crossed, so the orange line is a average of the price and the purple line is tracking the momentum, or basically the stock's movements. Now when the purple line goes above the yellow line, then we see that the stock is in an upwards direction. Now, anytime that the line goes below, then the stock is going to start in a downwards direction. Unfortunately, the MACD does not tell us for how long this is going to happen. You can see that sometimes it crosses over and only for a short amount of time. Now, in this example, we saw that they went for around almost a month here of upwards direction, and then came down for only 5 or 7 days here. That's about a week of time, like one stock market week. And essentially you can't really know that based on the MACD. So another strong indicator that I use to decide whether or not it's time to go in at the top or at the bottom of a trade is the RSI. Now what the RSI is a strength indicator. And what that means is that they basically show you how strong, or how in the past, based on past data and based on past prices of this stock, how high is this price right now? Are they oversold or overbought? And essentially what that means is that you can see that when they're over here, they are overbought. Essentially this range up here means that they are being bought so much so quickly that this price cannot really support itself, and you can see that they had an immediate pullback as a result. Up here as well, when they were up at this prices, now this is a stock that trades up and down a lot on the daily. However, they do have long-term price motion. So this would be a stock that I would say you can hold for around a month time, and the swings will probably last for around a month or 3 weeks time, as you can see here from past data. Now it's always very important, like I keep telling you guys, to analyze this past data in order to try to understand what kind of stock you're looking at and what kind of motions this stock usually trades in. Now, like I said, we're looking for around a 3-week pattern here. And if you did trade this here, you waited around 3 weeks and then you saw your play come into the money and do what you wanted, which was a sell-off, as we saw from the top of the channel, which is probably hitting around here. And that's why this price is so jagged here, because the traders are seeing these 2 channels lining up, and they're kind of deciding whether or not this stock can continue in the upwards direction or in the downwards direction. And that's why I was keeping an eye on them for this week. I'm looking to buy some options contracts, or maybe even 100 shares of this stock, in order to try to make a quick flip, a quick 3-week trade here, and make my money back. Now you can see as well, another one of the most important indicators that you can have on the stock market is volume. Now, you see that this price moves up and down every day. However, the most violent moves come right after a sharp sell-off. You can see that every time one of these candles goes above, they have an extreme price reaction here, and that is consistent with 99% of stocks. If there is a sharp sell-off, the stock is going to come down in price. You can see that they had a sharp sell-off here in this last period, and as a result came down about $1 here. So you can expect this stock to swing about $2 to $3 if we do see this huge red candle on the volume. And you can also see that they're coming off a high oversold and that their MACD just flipped to a sell signal. So from these three indicators, I would probably recommend you guys to start selling the stock because of the fact as well that they are at the top of this channel. I don't think that they're going to be coming down to the 490 price range. However, I do think they will sell off around $1 or $2 more before seeing a continuation into the upwards direction because they haven't been able to break this channel here on such a good opportunity like they had last week here. So yeah, guys, just keep a close eye out for these opportunities. Try to use as many indicators as you can because the more confirmation that you have that your trade is correct and that you are trading what you saw, then you will be more confident in your trade as well. Now, a lot of people that I know will see a trade run 50 cents, 60 cents in the wrong direction and immediately pull out. However, you can see that with these kind of stocks and with these kind of stocks and assets that move on a daily basis up and down, and they could even move $1 up or $1 down in the opposite direction of what you said. However, in the long run, you can see that they do follow these patterns, and as a result, you want to be able to be confident in what you're trading and confident in that your analysis is correct. Additionally, guys, I can't recommend this enough to download Thinkorswim for your long-term analysis. You don't have to put a single penny in and you're able to use these tools. Now, you can see on Robinhood these trends as well. You can see that they've been hitting this bottom. However, you would probably bet that it's going to go upwards right now, even though, like I showed you, there's two channels merging here and you cannot see that on Robinhood. You simply are not going to be able to do the same type of price analysis on Robinhood, especially with these swing trading channels and with all the indicators that come into play when you're finding these type of trades. You won't be able to do it on Robinhood. You need to be on a platform like Yahoo Finance if you don't want to download something onto your computer. But if you do want to download something on your computer, I would definitely recommend Thinkorswim by TD Ameritrade. It's one of the best platforms I have ever used, and I've honestly been able to see incredible trends and things that I never would have been able to on Robinhood. Additionally, Robinhood shows you late price data. They show you aggregated price data from the last minute, and this cannot essentially account for quick moves up or down, quick candles up or down, which we've been seeing a lot of in the last few days on the stock market because of the fact that a lot of this news can move the stock market suddenly, such as with the Powell meeting. There were multiple big red rip candles downwards before we saw the first rip that I was talking about on my last Friday video, and you would have been able to see that on Thinkorswim. However, you would have gotten no warning on Robinhood and you would have lost a lot of money as a result. So yeah, guys, keep a close eye out here on this stock. I think this is going to be a very big gainer here in the future. You can see that this is one of the stocks that can have a huge spiking move, and it's nobody's business how they can spike. They can just incredibly spike, and essentially they are following a channel right now, but the moment that they break out of this channel, such as you saw over here with this channel, they come down very hard or come up very hard once they rip out of the channels. So yeah, guys, just keep a close eye out for these stocks. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe the video, and I hope you guys learned something today.